Hey everybody, welcome back to What Elon Said. Today is Sunday, May 29th. We're going to do a weekend edition here covering what Elon said on the 28th and the 29th. We got a lot of topics to cover. We have a growing Starlink service into different countries throughout the world, different continents. We revisit Elon's take on politicians versus billionaires. We have some of Elon's optimism and fighting back against pessimism and population decline, and then some comments on Tesla's long-term growth. So why don't we jump into it? Here we go.
Yeah.
So kind of kicking it off. This is not exactly in chronological order. It's sort of in topic order. But we start off with SpaceX and Starlink, and Elon tweeting actually on late Friday night that Tesla merch can be bought with Doge. Soon, SpaceX merch will be able to too. And Ilanoshi Muskamoto said, will we also be able to pay our Starlink subscriptions via Doge too, Elon? And he says, maybe one day. So here we are really taking the Dogecoin seriously and trying to integrate it into payment systems for his companies.
Yeah, I wonder how much the if you get the SpaceX and Tesla merch at the right time, you might get it for a much lower price, depending on the Doge fluctuation.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually looked at that on some of the Tesla merch um,
Yeah,
in the past, but yeah, I
pretty
think
cool. Pretty cool.
yeah, it's cool. It's
It's fun. It's fun, basically. I
there
don't
you
know.
go. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a fun
You know what?
currency.
Maybe by the time Doge is accepted, we will all be paying for our Star or SpaceX trips
Rides
with Doge. Yes, our
to
ride with
Mars.
Doge. That's it.
Well, here's a couple updates about Starlink expansion. We have that it was approved by the Philippines, so it would be rolling out there. And then Pranay Patel says, Elon, any update on Starlink approval usage in India? And Elon says, we are waiting for government approval. And there was a flurry of comments below that regarding Teslas in India.
Hmm. Manufacturing. Yes.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
manufacturing as well as like people actually getting their cars, which I guess is kind of an issue there too.
Ah, yeah. So I think
Um,
Elon said here, when I asked about Tesla's there, he said Tesla will not put a manufacturing plant in any location where we are not allowed first to sell and service cars. So that's interesting. I never knew that was their position.
mhm.
People might have known, but that's very enlightening to know that first they need to be able to sell it and
Yeah.
service, and then produce.
Yep. And yeah, I guess he runs a hard bargain with governments, and you think about
Yes,
China and what he's been able to accomplish there. I think there's some of that subtle pressure being put on India as well.
absolutely, absolutely. So, and then this is the other part of that they were approved in Nigeria and Mozambique. So this is, I mean, Philippine. I don't know how big Mozambique is personally, but
Mhm.
Nigeria is enormous. The number of people who live there, and same with the Philippines. And both countries are very urban dense, but at the same time they have still huge swaths of the population that are in areas without cable laid down. So
Yeah.
this will make a big difference, I think, in the rural areas where I guess towns or communities will kind of pull together for access to it. I don't think it's
Mhm.
as big of a deal for any of the bigger cities, but it's a huge deal for big portions of the country.
Right. I think that is the target user for Starlink, right? Is more of the rural areas.
That's right,
Um,
and it's still pretty expensive. I mean, I looked up; it's they said the
mhm.
average cost per month is $50
Oh,
for
okay.
cable internet, and Starlink is going to be 110 dollars a month after you buy all the equipment. So
Yeah.
it's an investment for an area, but I think a lot of them communities will get it because they have nothing now.
Hmm.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and then he goes on to talk about all of the benefits that just internet connectivity can provide to a society. This is now a pinned tweet here where he says one Starlink can provide internet for an entire school of hundreds of students. Great potential to lift people out of poverty. Providing internet is teaching people to fish. And then Ava Fox responded and said, "Education is the key," and he said yes. So
Yeah.
some good insight into Elon, I guess, worldview and Elon philosophy there.
Yeah. One system while an expensive system to put up,
Mhm.
can change the entire world. It's not just like a cable service providing internet in the U.S. He is literally serving the whole world, which is an amazing, really transformative thing that's never
Yeah,
happened before.
it really is. This is an article from Tasmanian that he liked just about all of that we just talked about. Then there was just some likes in regards to how all this was made possible. There's a this was I think the one of the leaders from Nigeria or Mozambique. I don't know which one it was, but saying someone said made possible by our very own, and then yeah, just more likes and acknowledgement of this accomplishment here. Um, yeah. Also, there was some weird stuff going on with like the Tesla community on Twitter and some of their tweets being deleted and stuff. I think this one might have actually been from Elon that was deleted. But Ava Fox went on to say that I meant now access throughout the countries and not only in those parts where cables are laid. There are many remote areas in which there will be huge problems with the internet. And Elon was saying, yeah, or a remote hospital. I think there was something else here that he was communicating about how it could be used. I don't know why it was
Hmm.
deleted, but I was
I don't know.
too
Strange things
slow on
have
the
been
move
happening
there.
lately, much more than the past. I don't know if they're just becoming more, um, using censoring more a broad term for the good, or if it's something weird happening. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we
Uh,
will touch on more of that here and
okay, so we'll get to
coming up.
that.
It was another big topic of conversation here, but
Yeah.
we got a lot of likes of just Starship photos and shots here from over the weekend. I guess one of the most updated Starship 24, was moving along, moving along the road here. Uh,
Did you? I still haven't had a chance to watch Everyday Astronaut, unfortunately,
yeah, I
which
didn't
I'm
watch part
eager
two
to
yet.
do. I'm just sort of confused. I have to look this up a little more. I know they keep moving these starships out and putting it out there. I guess they're just testing, moving it around. I mean, the more and more I'm hearing is that they're probably going to do it in Florida in the end, but
Hmm,
we'll see. I guess they're hopeful they might get approval. I think the deadline is within the next 2 or 3 weeks. They have to have approval by, or else they have to
okay.
apply again or something. So it would maybe they're hopeful it might actually launch, but I just keep seeing these shots where they're pulling things out there.
Yeah. I mean, they are impressive shots. I think to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they're just going through every motion of what will eventually be needed
Yes.
to launch Starship, and just doing the preparation work uh, before they get the approval to actually launch.
Yeah. I forget his name, but Warren Redlick interviewed someone who seemed very knowledgeable about SpaceX, and he
Mm.
was really emphasizing that the mechazilla
Yes,
is
the
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 key
clause.
to the whole. Yeah, the clause. That's the key to the whole program, and the ultimate goal, because of mechazilla,
Hmm.
is to launch once per hour, a starship once per hour,
Mm,
and they might have a
could
lot
see
of
that.
starships that launch without the main booster rocket section. That is just the starship, because
Hmm.
that'll go from point to point on Earth. They don't need that full second part to get into space.
They don't
So it's
need
interesting.
the
The
booster.
rocket portion, the booster.
Yeah,
So it's interesting. It can be a lot of
yeah.
interesting
There's some great
variations.
video of it, which that we've seen before a little while ago. I can't remember. It was after we started this show, but it was just a great like digital animation of what Starship would look like on its like kind of moving people and equipment to Mars.
Yes, yeah, it
You
is
remember that?
great to visit that, to see, keep your head aligned with the goals. It's a really cool video.
Yeah, inspirational.
Hmm.
But this was just another cool one from Pranay Padhol that Elon liked, and shows really the scale of Starship as it moves down this road with people and cars there next to it. 120-meter tall booster. Oh,
Huge.
that's
No,
that's what
that's
he
the
says. He's like,
starship.
huh?
But yeah, the booster would be
Yeah,
Yeah,
So this is without the booster, he's saying.
that's right. That's right. It's enormous.
Here was just a liked picture from Everything Space of a Transporter 5 mission marked SpaceX 122nd booster landing.
Yes, for the Falcon. Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
here's that video. It's about
Oh
a 2
yeah,
minute video animation of what the ultimate mission of Starship is. He
very
liked it.
cool.
So I guess it's a good representation if Elon likes it there. And this also was kind of part of it, just in line with it, from
Yeah, the
Eden
Mars
Fox.
theme. Yeah,
Yeah,
moving towards Mars.
yeah, exactly.
I, that's Elon with his son, I guess. I couldn't
I
see
guess
what's going
so.
on back there.
Pretty cool.
Very funny.
I don't. I mean, unless Elon's still having kids by the time he's this age here,
Yes, that is
101.
fantastic.
I don't think he'll have any kids that are that
he Elon
short.
liked that one.
Yes, he did like this one. This is a great old man Elon picture.
Yes, you could see him hanging that in his office wall. Like that's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the everyday astronaut, this was a like of his, just a quote and clip from part two. Um, yeah. Okay. So I have watched part of it because I remember him up in the tower here, and
Mhm.
some of his commentary here. But just a quote from Pranay Padhal saying, yeah, the key to making life multiplanetary is full and rapidly reusable rockets, like an aircraft. So just hammering home a message that he's had from the beginning.
That's it. That's what they are. I mean, it's a very complex thing they're trying to do, but in reality, you boil it down, it's very simple. They're not trying to build the space colonies at this
Mm,
point. They're not trying to do everything else. They're literally just building a cargo ship company
yeah.
that can launch and land very fast, relaunch fast.
Yep. And it almost like doesn't seem. It seems so simple, like you're saying, but
Yeah,
it's the key to moving forward that we just
that's
haven't
right.
achieved yet.
Absolutely. And in the past, NASA did a lot of things, and they still do, but that's not their objective. They're a science organization,
Hmm.
and you needed someone in the private sector like Elon to do that. They would never have done that. It's not even in their need group. So it's interesting.
Yeah. And I think this tweet here that he liked really sums it up well. So this was from a presentation in 2005 where a young Elon, as you can see there, presented to other space entrepreneurs and enthusiasts at the International Space Development Conference, and he really laid out like what was the purpose or like business model for SpaceX. And I just like this slide here and some of the takeaways here that he said it's structured like a Silicon Valley technology company, flat hierarchy, small elite engineer teams, and high signal, meaning engineering, to noise is management ratio.
Hmm.
The guiding key principle is keep it simple.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the philosophy is to be the Southwest Airlines of space. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, exactly. Like, look, we're not focused on all the bells and whistles. We just want to do this efficiently and effectively. And yeah, it's
Yes.
basically like public transportation of space.
So does that mean they're going to be selling the food separately on it's not included with your
Yeah, you
flight?
probably have to pay for the baggage, as you're
That's right.
purchasing the ticket.
Yeah.
But I like that there. This was just more footage of a Falcon booster landing. He liked that. And then this kind of summed up the space talk for the weekend,
Hmm.
where he just tweeted this Mars man.
Dr. Manhattan.
Is it okay?
Yeah, from Watchmen.
Watchmen, got it.
So he's it's the point that he just left. He left Earth. He was just frustrated with above mankind in a way, or frustrated with them, and he just left and went to Mars by himself.
Okay, see, that's why we make a good team here because I haven't read Watchmen or watched it,
Yeah.
but glad you knew that reference. All right, well, on to another favorite topic, Twitter. we've got Elon liking this tweet here of just him releasing the scared bird, of course.
Yes.
And
This is great.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shibatoshi Nakamoto referencing an old Smashing Pumpkins song with "Despite all my rage, I'm still just a bird in a cage." Elon like that one.
Oh yeah.
Just some fun like fan art throughout this whole Twitter
It's
saga.
see, pre-Twitter, it used to just be him and the Doge dog. Now it's the Twitter bird with them. He's developing a
I had not thought of
whole
that. That
ecology.
this is his pet. You know his.
Yes.
Oh man. And there you go, another Dogecoin reference here. Meme from Doge Meme Girl.
Yes.
Fly,
And then
birdie, fly.
he says what he always says that up there. He says, "Ha, nice." That's always his reply to everyone.
Yeah.
Here
So
it is.
this one I really thought was a great comment about Twitter, and this is Mike Solana. I don't know who this guy is, or maybe you do, but Elon went on to follow him. But he tweeted a couple or retweeted a couple things or commented on them over the weekend here. And Mike says that literally nobody asks professionally hot people on Instagram for political content. If you want to be an idea person, come to the idea app and get the shit kicked out of you for your bad ideas like the rest of us. Picture app is for puppies and butts. The end. So we've
That kind
talked
of
about that a lot.
yes, definitely.
Before.
I got a follow for him. Interesting. And he agrees 100%. But that is very true. That I mean, it is definitely the idea app. You have to put up with crap if people don't agree with you, as you've experienced. And you have to have thick skin to be on the Twitterverse.
Mm-hmm.
But it is where ideas get hashed out, and people are brutal, but they are. Some of it's nasty, but a lot of ideas are thrown around.
Yeah.
If you want to debate ideas, I find that's here.
Yes.
I find maybe I'm looking at the wrong spots. As you know, not Facebook bashing, but I notice in a lot of the town boards and different groups, it's just literally name calling.
Mm.
I find that less so on
There's
Twitter.
a lot of that going on in Twitter too, but
there is a lot of that going on, but I find it's weighted with a lot of thoughtful commentary in between.
Yeah. If nothing else, I think that this is representative of what Elon envisions for Twitter.
Yes.
And like you're saying, it's probably better than all the other ones in terms of doing this, but it's still got its own issues that need to be worked out, which is obvious and evident.
Yeah.
Even more so recently. But yeah, that I like that one, and I could see why Elon liked it there. So this loops back to Elon's poll from Friday. Who do you trust less? Real question: politicians or billionaires? And Tom Fitton said, "Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect everyone who comes near that precious jewel." And that's a quote from Patrick Henry. So very
yeah, that boils down to what Elon liked it, and that's what he's trying to he says he's trying to defend.
Mm-hmm. And did you get to any of this commentary out there?
I did not, unfortunately. So
yeah,
read away, sir.
So this is the catching markup on Elon's tweets video.
A rare time. I'm usually caught up, but
man, there was a lot this weekend. But I do think it was good stuff. It wasn't all just noise, you know. So just more commentary about politicians versus billionaires. So someone's saying, and I struggled with this too when thinking about this poll. So there's you, Elon, and then there's Gates, Bezos, Bloomberg, Schultz, Steyer, Benioff, I don't know, others, and you see my quandary, right? Like, I trust you, but a lot of these other ones I'm not sure I trust. And Elon responded and said, I know some of the people you mentioned, and I think they're good, but for sure, not all billionaires are good, since we are dealing with humans after all. I do try my hardest to be good, and sometimes I fear that untrue negative stories about me may cause others to excuse their bad behavior to their conscience because they think I'm doing it too, but I'm not. Okay. Then
he's explains the point. So he says, don't just bash on those people.
Yeah.
Which that Lou Dobbs does a lot. But he's saying, they're good people, but they're not all doing like they're not the opposite of me. Some are same, some are middle ground.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
And,
telling you what Elon said. I don't need to do that. So good.
yeah, but someone said, I trust you a heck of more than Bill Gates. And Elon said, since Bill Gates has a multi-billion-dollar short position against Tesla while claiming to help with global warming, I guess I have some trust issues with him too. And then someone else said, what do you think about Bezos? You think he's a good person? And he said, he's fine, I guess. Does seem like he's spending a lot of time in the hot tub these days. If he wants to get to
so
orbit, less
funny.
partying and more work would be advisable.
It's I mean, he's telling a guy who was a pure workaholic for the last 30 years that he's slacking off. It's funny.
It is great. Yeah. And then revisiting the Gates short position, pale blue dot said, when did it turn from 500 million to multi-billion? And Elon responds here and says it was 500 million, but then Tesla went up a lot, so now it's 1.5 to 2 billion. Close it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had commentary on that in previous shows.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll back tread.
Yeah, check out those previous episodes.
Yeah.
But then Renee Paddle just says, "What do you think is the reason for the hatred?" And he says, Elon says, "My companies don't buy advertising."
It comes back to that he doesn't have people grouping up against him because he's destroying their path.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And someone said, translation, I don't pay the media to lie. And Elon said, incentives matter.
Yeah. That is that's true. Maybe not explicitly, maybe not requested, but it is sort of in the background. So it is sort of unavoidable.
Yeah. Here's just more about billionaires. Let's see. In fact, hatred of billionaires in the U.S. is being instilled by politicians. They create an imaginary enemy for people to distract them from how they harm people. And Elon did say, true, they must have a scapegoat.
Scapegoat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is always true. That's definitely true. And I'm not defending billionaires. I'm just saying when things go bad, they're one of the groups that are always attacked. Like, well, this is all your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
You're blocking this, or you're not paying enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole. All of this has made me reflect more upon how we evaluate people as a culture, in society. Because we don't take people on their individual merits in many cases. Like Elon's lumped in with a bunch of other billionaires, and it's just you need someone to blame for your
the
woes.
Group. Yes, they've because they have that much money, they stole it. They're like oligarchs where they just took it all.
Yeah. Or that they shouldn't have that much and they should give it out to the rest of us.
They should give it out. There's always when times are bad. When bad things happen, that's always the cry,
Yeah.
Johnson, you have a cure for COVID, and you're bad because you're not losing money on it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I guess we should all be more charitable and generous.
Yes.
But anyway, now kind of in the same ballpark, but shifting gears a little bit, we start to get into what's happening with Tesla, the Tesla community being sort of shadow banned by the algorithm. And Elon just says, that's strange. And then Alex here posted some of the Twitter rules, which Elon says these are very bot-friendly rules when it comes down to it. Like, you can tweet only a limit of 2,400 times per day.
Yeah.
What?
That's a lot.
And change your account email only 4 times per hour.
It is funny. A couple of weeks ago, he had, I don't know if he responded or posted his thought that one way around bots is just to have uh, just to identify that you're a real person. Kind of tests every now and then,
Yeah.
which Twitter doesn't do, and
Yeah.
that would solve a lot of it.
Hmm.
I think simple things can be done, but we'll see.
I think
We'll see.
so. I mean, I tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, they're running a business and social media platform, so this is the where they are is the best that they've been able to do
Yeah,
with the resources they've had. But it does seem like we're revealing some very obvious changes that could be made.
yes,
Um, so Jonah Kreider says, "Why is Twitter deboosting so many of Elon Musk's supporters when they reply to him and over stuff like gifs or the word yes?" And Elon says, "I suspect that this is because the algorithm is not exactly genius versus intentional deboosting of people." So, um, yeah, he seems to be giving them the benefit of the doubt too.
yeah. That's not a specific like okay, anyone if this then that ban people who do this, but
Hmm. Yeah,
interesting.
it's
How do you
just
see this? I'm always interested in how people. I'm that clueless that I don't get how people always have this screenshot.
yeah. So there is this Shadow Bird account which James
Uh
Stevenson has posted a snapshot of here that you can go to. It's just an automated account, and you can type like check, and it will check your account.
oh,
See if there's
cool,
yeah.
interesting.
Who knows? I don't know whether it's to be trusted or not, but it's
I don't
making a
know.
stir either way. Elon says
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. But boiling down everything here, Pranay Patel says, I guess this is where an open source algorithm would be very helpful. And Elon says yes.
Yeah, that's right. It probably would change a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. So a couple of
Or
key. I don't think it's too complicated. I mean, there's a couple of key levers that he has outlined that would make a big difference. And then once they're put in place, we'll see. Maybe we'll destroy the thing. I don't know,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it will.
maybe. That's
Yeah,
so I'm saying. I mean, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that, it is the way it is now because they've worked really hard to try and resolve everything. This is the best that they've done.
that's right.
But
That's right.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe open sourcing the algorithm will be a worse idea than we think.
Yes,
At least it would show people, how it works.
that's
Which
right.
which I had another thought. Um, I wonder if the Tesla safety scores, have they open sourced that algorithm to
I don't
to
think so.
explain to people exactly how safety scores are generated?
No,
Yeah, well, maybe
interesting.
worth it.
They have not. Maybe they should. I don't think it's. I'm pretty sure that has not been opened because people are always asking how is this determined.
Yeah.
But somehow I don't think they have done that. Maybe they will eventually.
Well, I am of the opinion that more transparency is better. So
Yes.
we'll see where that goes. Here's one of our favorites, right? Life of Brian here. We got Lex Friedman saying everyone is a victim of someone's propaganda. And Elon saying, we are all individuals with the clip from Life of Brian.
Yeah. Always good.
Yeah.
He's a big Monty Python fan.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught this poll here.
I did see it. I haven't seen the responses though.
Okay. So this was Steven Crowder, who is I guess, right wing personality, I believe, on Twitter. Who do you
Mhm.
trust more? Better question, Elon Musk or AOC? And
Yeah, just one billionaire versus one politician.
yeah. And Elon says it's on the nose here, but it was Elon Musk was at like 96% versus
Yeah.
4 for AOC.
Depends which audience you ask though.
Yeah. Well, I guess this was probably going out towards his right-leaning um, audience, right, or
Yes.
followers.
Yeah.
And Bill Lee says this is closer than I thought, actually. And Elon says it was 96 in favor of me until I commented. Ironically, there might be more left-wing bots following me than right-wing. So it adjusted like over time. It adjusted to like 86 and 14 or something along those lines.
Balance down. Yes.
Yep.
It's funny.
I don't know, a couple other. Oh, this was this deleted tweets here that I noticed, but I finally found them. But you Elon Musk, you have an army of left-wing bots following you. And Elon said, yep. But then that tweet got deleted. And this guy said, my
Interesting.
tweet got deleted for no reason. First time it ever happened to me.
Hmm.
Things
Weird.
amiss in the Twitter world.
Strange.
But this was another big takeaway, in my opinion, from all the madness of tweets this weekend. Elon said that this was last Thursday. Politics is a sadness generator. And Andrew Yang, we've been going, Elon's been having a lot of discussion about shifting from Democrat to Republican, his votes. And Andrew Yang says, you're not wrong, Elon, working to change this with the Forward Party, a positive, unifying third party that doesn't judge and brings people together. And Elon said, cool. So, yeah, I thought this was
So he
a
was
good takeaway here.
he's agreeing with that middle. I don't get the whole Andrew Yang thing because he like that party he keeps describing basically is the Libertarian Party,
Is it?
and
Okay.
he's one of the key speakers at their big annual gathering in a couple of weeks. So I don't get it. Just join that party.
Yeah, I don't know. Forward Party, maybe
The
he's just
Forward
renaming
Party.
it or something.
Yeah.
But then this was David Weissman said, "Hey, let's prove how phony the right's ridiculous polls are," referring to the last one, by doing one of our own. Who do you trust more? And it was almost the same exact result. Elon Musk,
And then
81%,
Elon says,
AOC,
at first I
18%.
thought that at first I thought this was a parody. That's what he said.
Yes. And David Weissman just had to accept it. And he's like, "Hey, you got to know when to take a loss." But
That's very funny.
I thought that was pretty hysterical. Here we're looping back to some of the right to bear arms conversation. And this was someone posting an article about a West Virginia woman with a pistol who protected a crowd and shot and killed a man firing at a graduation. And I don't know that Elon was expressed total clarity here. I mean, he didn't completely take a side, but he said, "Wow, good for her for saving these people."
Yes.
So
I think he said
was
in the past
tiptoeing
that
around it.
his takeaway was that he wanted more restrictions on sort of age and the type of weapons, but it seems like he's okay with people having a pistol or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my takeaway.
All right. Well, this seems to support that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he said that was good on her. This was a post from Tim Urban about the strange. I'm drawing a blank on a word. Contradiction.
Yes.
About
Okay.
ages for drinking and smoking and voting
Mm-hmm.
and then driving a car, etc. And he says, if I were in charge, I'd move the drinking age down to 18 and the driving age up to 18. Why, of all things, is driving 2-ton machinery at 70 miles per hour the one item in this list we've decided minors can handle? And Elon said, I agree.
Yep, that's true.
So I think that that aligns pretty well with full self-driving and those efforts. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know many years ago, I was hoping it would have been in place by now, by the time my kids are starting to drive. I don't think it's almost.
How long have we been talking about this stuff?
I know.
But as I know for me personally, as I dig in more to especially the Tesla approach, you start to realize just how difficult of a problem it is. You're essentially creating real world AI.
Yes.
It'll be, I think, once it is achieved, it's going to crack open a whole load of opportunities for use cases.
Yeah.
But here he liked another illustration from Tim Urban and then also commented saying, I once had a car named Hubris, which I think is in reference to what's the car that he had? The starts with an M. McLaren.
That Tim Urban had?
McLaren that he crashed.
Oh, McLaren. Yes. Okay, I think you're right. Interesting.
So I think we're probably going to run out of time here and not get to
Yeah, we have a
everything.
couple minutes, but we'll see. We got one time for one or two more. Let's do
Yeah.
it. We got a little interesting cultural narrative here.
Yeah. So this is just the Rotten Tomatoes post about, or the decoupling of
Fantastic.
critic and audience scores for stand-up specials is a thing to behold. And we got the Tato meter from critics at 14% for the Ricky Gervais stand-up special, and the audience score at 92%. So big dichotomy there. And then Elon saying the critics seek not to critique, but rather to virtue signal. They are out of touch with the people and so lose their credibility with the people.
It's true, and this is again, it goes back to his wishing for democracy to be a online voting direct rather than having representatives. That the gatekeepers, he just wants to do away with them.
Mm-hmm.
Critics, politicians, representatives, you name it.
So, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to pick at here. I mean, first of all, you've got 7 reviews.
I know there's only 7.
14%. So not quite representative of a large array of critics. But also there was a lot of commentary underneath saying, well, who are you as like the richest person in the world to say that, to talk about critics not being in touch with people? Now, I mean, I think that's a little bit it's not connected here, right? It's not a great argument there, but
no.
But a lot of interesting comments here underneath. But I do agree with Elon here. It's critics have quite a unique status in our modern world, don't they?
They do. Personally, I always look at these reviews and I kind of weigh it. Like if the critics really think it's that bad and the audience likes it, usually if all the critics hate it, usually it's not the greatest.
Yeah.
You just got crazy people loving trash or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. I got to catch up on the Ricky Gervais special and form my own opinion.
Correct. So do I.
All right, let's see what else we have here.
Time for one more?
Yeah, one or two. We got the Netflix chief or CEO saying, I think it's very important to the American culture generally to have free expression. It used to be a very liberal issue, so it's an interesting time we live in. And
I read that article this morning, actually. It was a very good interview.
Okay.
But that line has stuck with me as well.
Yeah, interesting. So I think we'll stop there because the rest is about sort of population decline and Tesla and all that. So
I've gone into all that before.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening over the weekend, but I think some really good takeaways and some good insight into Elon's brain. So we'll wrap this session up here and catch everyone on the next episode. Thanks.